It's me, Bussy, and welcome back to Hat or Rat. And today we'll be reviewing the finale of Drag Race Holland. Our final 4 queens performed in a Rupaul lip sync mashup, and every single queen pranced on the runway one last time. Category is Very Best Drag. But before we get started, stop clowning around and hit that like button, and press subscribe if you want more. Oh, and don't forget to follow me on my other social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Patreon. The links to do so are in the description of this video. Now, let's get started. Vroom, vroom. Racing onto the runway first is Holland's drag cyborg, Roem. I was so excited for this queen when Drag Race Holland was announced because that promo was so sickening. And knowing her, of course, from YouTube, being the creator of Rupaul Drag Race, I was already a fan and I couldn't wait to see what she would do. Unfortunately, she was dethroned from the competition in the very first challenge, the Queen Runway, but this is a great redemption for that. This look showcases much prettier makeup, gorgeous hair, and a more thought out look. I'm loving that cute little red and black fascinator sitting right on the front of the wig, and then those pretty glitter tears when you zoom in on the face. I think the gloves, necklace, and belt are all supposed to be metal cyborg pieces. Overall, the look is pretty, but I think if you're going to use a fabric like this for a finale gown, you do need to maybe make sure it fits like a glove. It's a little loose for me in the top and waist areas. I think also if she upgraded that neck piece and belt to something that were 2 or 3 times as larger, that could have made an even bigger statement. And finally, yes, I am going to be extremely picky on these runways because this is the finale. If you're going to be carrying a bouquet of roses down the runway as a prop, you need to cut the stems to an appropriate length. Fake or not, those extra long ugly stems I think take away more than the actual roses add to this runway. I love that she's in a big hair and a full-length gown and has elements in this look that continue to tell the story of Roem. I think it's so important to be able to do that on the RuPaul's Drag Race runway because often those are how people remember you, and if you don't let people know who you are on the runway, well, then you might just be forgotten. That said, my complaints are just minor glitches in this look, and I think with a couple of patches, she could upgrade this look to a hat. As is, today I am going to give it a warming up. Next up, what that mouth do? It's Patty Pam Pam, and she's got something to say tonight. Everything must be leopard print. The cape, the shawl, the bodice, the house-down boots. On Instagram, she says this is her favorite pattern. I'm not totally sure what the symbolism of the mouth on her waist is, but I do like it. It's campy, and her outfits are always these really refined looks with campy little details that allow her to keep a little bit of whimsicality in her Pam Pam couture fashion. The measuring tape, the tulips on the shoulder in her promo look, the asparagus, and that unaired Miss Holland look. She knows how to put the Pam Pam stamp on a look that'll make you remember it. This look is really cool and tailored perfectly, but for a finale runway, is this Patty's very best drag? I almost feel like it's missing something, maybe a little headpiece with some cat ears to amp up that camp and glam, because the category is very best drag. I really am looking for that wow factor. Unfortunately, Patty couldn't claw her way to the top of this competition, but her time on the show was so meow-memorable because of all of her amazing runways. This one included. The simplicity is gorgeous. I'm going to give this look a hat. She's another queen that has been posting all of her looks over on Instagram, so make sure you go check those out and show her some love. Next up, she's Goldly, going where no one has gone before. It's Megan Schoonbrood. It's a gold and silver bodysuit with a flared out waist piece and then a little gold panty peeking out from under that skirt piece. This is maybe the best look that we have seen Megan in for the entire show. It always seemed like she had really good ideas for her runways, but couldn't quite meet that final execution. There was always just some detail missing or piece that didn't quite make sense. This look is a great redemption for those visions, but it's almost a little bit too dance costumey, I think, for a finale very best drag runway. It's pretty, but it's just not Megan me crazy. And while I would love to have seen just something a little bit more dramatic, it's well made, fits her great, and she looks gorgeous on the runway. This golden girl is hot. Next up, be Harry Afraid. Harry Afraid. It's Madam Madness. She's back on the runway tonight, not only with her signature beard, but a chest full of hair. This is Madam Madness. It's this really dramatically tailored red and black blazer with matching boots and this little horn headpiece, and I think those horns on her head are actually sculpted out of the wig that she's wearing. The beard was a lot, and I know people are gonna probably be going crazy about the chest hair, but it's her body. It's what she wants to show off. If that's her drag, that's her drag. I would maybe like to have seen her do something a little more intentional with the chest hair, maybe put some glitter in it, maybe paint it, shave a little design into it. I don't know, it does kind of feel like it is just there, although I don't mind it being there. The silhouette on this is sick. I love that it mirrors her makeup. Look at those extremely sharp graphic eyeliner points, matching the silhouette of the collar of the blazer, the horns on the wig, and even the cuffs of the jacket. This type of stuff is exactly what I'm talking about for a finale. This has a vision, an artistic direction. You know exactly who this person is the second they step out on the stage. Some very minor improvements that I would make to this look would be to increase the volume of that hair. I think we need a bigger base tease and a bit more drama on that head. I am, of course being very picky, and I'm extremely proud of Madame Madness for her run on the show, and this look in particular, it's stunning. Tonight, I love that she's showing off her heritage, and she really made some points with this look. This look is hot. And I don't think Madame Madness had the most polished runways on the show, but she certainly had some of the best makeup. And her promo look was my favorite of the bunch. I think these really intricately tailored blazers, blazer gowns, and pieces and things that match the direction of the sharp graphic lines in her makeup are going to be the direction that she will find the most success in. Next up, coming to a screen near you, it's Sederginne. I love this. This look represents all of the camp and fun that Sederginne has had in the competition on the runways in general, and then takes it to that next really glamorous, beautiful place. She's the intersection of old-fashioned glamour and a modern, fresh take on camp. This runway is also so great because it gives us a callback to her half and half Miss Piggy Kermit runway. Admittedly, that was not something that was successful, but it certainly is something that people are going to remember because it was so shocking to see on the screen. Sederginne had been performing so well in this show, consistently placed high, came so close to a win a couple of times, and then out of nowhere walked the runway in this. The concept was brilliant, but we all know that Piggy was not hot enough to make bacon out of. So this look is sort of a redemption for Sederginne, which is really satisfying as a viewer to see. I love the play of the similarly textured but differently patterned green and pink fabrics with those giant jewels all around the neck and breast area. It has the finesse and style of her Queen Runway and Diamond Runway, two looks that I think I am going to remember forever. I also love that she was always known for having a gag, a little joke on the runway, but tonight the only thing we're gagging on is her eleganza. This look is hot. Next up, Chelseaboy has received an upgrade. It's Mega Boy. This is a really fun take on the classic video game character Mega Man, which I was freaking out over when she hit the runway because Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo was one of my favorite games of all time as a child. And for a finale runway, I think this was a really bold choice because Chelsea knew that every single other person was probably going to be serving eleganza, glamour, and she chose to come out in this. I think this may push away some people that don't immediately get the reference, but Chelseaboy doing stuff like this is the reason I love her so much. Anyway, I think this look is well done, and like Chelseaboy's previous looks that were direct references, she finds a way to recreate them in her own way and put her own special flair on them. And she does so much more than simply buying a Halloween costume and putting rhinestones on it. To improve this look, I think Chelsea could have added a little more glam. I think when you zoom in on the crotch area, you can see that blue bodysuit a little bit too plainly, and making the armor pieces she does have more metallic and chrome, and then adding even more armor pieces to her body might have made this runway pop a little bit more, but this is bold and extremely effective. She's ready to fight the final boss. This look is hot. Chelseaboy's runways had some of the best references. Let's think back to her Alien Queen, Mystique Transformation runway, and then finally the Mars Attacks runway, which was so iconic, which was of course the look she was eliminated on. Unfortunately, I think using direct references, even if she is making them her own for runways on Drag Race, was a bit of a gamble because the judging panel often didn't understand what she was doing and in the end punished her for it. Next up, did it hurt when she fell from heaven? Janey Jackey comes out in an all red bodysuit with some huge, crazy, amazing feather piece on the back of her look that is potentially some of the best executed feather wings that we have seen on the Rupaul's Drag Race franchise. I like the different tones of red in the wings and boots, adding a little bit of drama and extra flair to this look. And this look is Janey to a T. This is basically like an upgraded high fashion Victoria's Secret runway version of like her makeover look. She's killing it on the runway. She knows she looks good and she is walking like a winner. Nikki Tutorials reads her for looking a little bit old-fashioned, and Janey explains that this look is actually a 1994 couture piece. She speaks more about the importance to her of bringing in those older references into drag and remembering those classic pageant elements that I think originally elevated the art form and kind of were the original versions of RuPaul's Drag Race. If I was gonna be really picky here, I would actually get rid of those black fishnet stockings. I think they cheapen the look just a little bit, and I kind of wonder if she couldn't have made this look a little bit more modern by swapping the boots out for some sexy stilettos. Anyways, I was incredibly impressed with Janey this episode, and I think these wings allowed her to soar to new heights. This look is impeccable and hot. Overall, Janey had a really solidly consistent run on the show. She won the Queen Runway and the most recent red, white, and blue ball runway, and had the second most wins, behind only Envy Peru with 4 wins. Next up, she came to the dark side and finally found her light on the runway. Miss Abby OMG says this look is inspired by Queen of the Damned. I was a little confused when she said that because I don't really see that in the outfit directly. Maybe like a thematic inspiration, but to say that it's Queen of the Damned, it's kind of not. Here's the classic Akasha outfit that everybody cosplays from this movie. If she really was trying to reference this look, she maybe could have recreated the headpiece or the breast piece or something, I don't know. Regardless, I do really love this look. She does have on some black sclera contacts, which make her look a little bit demonic, iconic and powerful in a cool headpiece. And I love that we are again seeing her in a full-length gown without anything on her chest or neck. It looks like the bottom part of the gown is constructed out of a black velour. It's really, really pretty the way the runway lights are hitting it. And that extremely long cape, can you count the inches? I said last week that her gown look was the best she's ever looked on the runway, but this look tops even that. It's really nice that Abby was able to have such a strong finish on Drag Race Holland, especially considering the fact that she lip synced 3 or 4 times. To improve this look, I maybe would have brought the crystals on the corset up into the bra because the bra part does look almost like bra pads or something. It just was a little bit plain and unfinished at that one spot on the gown. This look is damned hot. Next up, Perfection has a human form, and its name is Envy Peru. She's wearing a look she says is inspired by the Queen of Burlesque, Dita Von Teese. She comes out with a cigarette prop, an amazing outfit. It's so simple, as all of her looks always are, but so well done. Envy is the undisputed queen of taking a classic concept and doing it better than anybody else could possibly imagine. The hair, the jewels, the body, I'm done. This is so beautiful. The only thing that I would change about this look is maybe to add some nipple tassels, because her nipples do become exposed when she moves that bodice around on the runway and then later again when she lip syncs, and it just would have been nice to have that little nod to burlesque performance there. As a reminder, Envy came into this finale with 4 challenge wins out of 7 episodes. Episode 2, the workout video and face runway. Episode 4, the shine bright like a diamond runway. Episode 5, snatch game and half queen half man runway. And finally episode 6, the makeover challenge. She had one of the best and maybe most consistent runs out of any contestant in Drag Race history. Evident in her track record, Envy came into this competition extremely polished already. There was almost no room for growth for this person. Their drag was immaculate from the start. All that was left for her to do was show the world her heart of gold and her amazing talents. And she did that. I can't wait to see what Envy does next. Envy really put on a show. This look is flaming hot. And next up, without further ado, she's out of the birdcage and flopping down the runway. It's Mama Queen. And wow, this look is a lot. The stage presence on this thing is insane. If she moves her shoulder the wrong direction and you're in that spot, bitch, you're gonna get knocked out. The style of this look is not my personal taste, but I can appreciate how amazing she looks. The play of all the different textures of feathers I think are so important in what makes this look so interesting to look at, along of course with the overly saturated greens and blues and browns in this look. The actual gown piece on the inside is reminiscent of a peacock. There's a jacket, there's like layers and layers of giant wings behind her. Her feather accessories have feather accessories. This look is almost too much, but it's not. It's the finale. It's just enough. This is easily my featherette look from Mama Queen. Mama's looks on the runway weren't always my personal favorite, but they have a unique perspective. They challenge you sometimes. They're interesting to look at. They bring in elements of spirituality and things that she loves and cares about. And I think when you are doing that with your art, that is when you are doing something impactful, meaningful, and worth doing. Mama radiates positive energy, and I always feel so good when I see them on my screen. You really just can't help falling in love with Mama. Mama Queen got dragged and feathered for this runway. It's hot. And after the runways, Fred tells Mama Queen and Miss Abby OMG that they will not be progressing to the final lip sync. That of course leaves Envy and Janey, who give the best lip sync of the entire season to Born This Way by Lady Gaga. And if you want to see my full, uncut, raw, live reaction to this lip sync, I did post it over on Patreon at patreon.com/BussyQueen. Envy does, of course, take the win. I think there probably would have been rioting in the streets if she didn't. I just don't think there was another outcome for the show that made sense because they gave her 4 wins and she did really well in the finale. But you just can't beat 4 challenge wins with 2, even if your lip sync might have been a little bit better. But they were both excellent. My hottest on the runway this week goes to Envy Peru. I also asked my patrons over on patreon.com/BussyQueen to vote for their hottest hot every single week, and this week they've chosen Envy Peru. Here's what they had to say. I haven't cried for a coronation since Jinx's. I'm so proud of Envy. Que viva Peru y Latinoamérica, carajo. I love that Sederginne took a concept that didn't quite work and made it so much better. I really loved the energy Chelseaboy brought to the runway this episode. So congratulations to Envy Peru on a well-deserved win for Drag Race Holland. While this is the end of Drag Race Holland, I would love to keep supporting these amazing queens, but I need your help. I have a really cool idea where I want to make a video where I buy a cameo from every single contestant of Drag Race Holland and ask them to roast me. I did spend the last 8 weeks judging them. It would only be fair, right? I'm collecting funds to buy these cameos and make this video using GoFundMe. The link to that GoFundMe is in the description of this video. So if you want to help support our Drag Race Holland contestants and see a really fun video, then click the link to check out that GoFundMe in the description of this video. video. My patrons truly do make Bussy Queen possible, and they get exclusive benefits like early access to my videos, their name and credits, personal shoutouts, and exclusive content like full-length interviews with Madame Madness, Patty Pam Pam, Roem, Sederginne, and Chelseaboy. You can find all of those and more over on patreon.com/BussyQueen. I'd like to give a special shout out to A Queer Chaplain, Abby, Adam, Anonymity, Blythe, Brandon, Catherine, Crystal, Charlie, Chris, Christopher, Curtis, Derek, Daniel, Ed, Elizabeth, Emma, Evelyn, Hannah, Ivan, Jake, Jaker, James, Janine, Jen, Juan, Jude, K. Joheim, Kelly, Manny, Matt, Maxwell, Michelle, Michael B, Michael H, Miguel, Onion Fairy, Oscar V, Oscar D, Reverend Terry, Rick, Robin, Shado, Sinclair, Susan, Tacosita, Tony, Vanessa, Victoria, Zincat, and Midnight 19, who are all supporting me at my hot tier. Adori, Anjo, Bradley, Cameron, Caroline, Craig, Evan, Freddie, Glenn, Jenny, Kevin, Kiki and John, Sailor, Shannon, Sky, Sloss World Sunshine, Tina, and Timotheus, who were all supporting me at my hottest hot tier, and Aretha, Marty, Mike, Matthew, and Tom, who are all supporting me at my Bussy Queen Collector tier. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Love ya, bye.